Bonjour, Mabele. Are you tired of those old recycled love stories? Or maybe you've just had enough of those cliche thrillers that sound too much like your grandma's bedtime stories? Well, buckle up, little girl, because today I'm taking you to five unique books that have a world so twisted and dark that they will keep you guessing what's coming next. And these aren't just any books, these are experiences that I'm sharing with you today. Once you know about them, you won't be able to forget them. So hold your breath, and I'll meet you right after the intro. Okay, now we are not wasting another second. I am ready to dive in, and I know you're too. So let's start with the first book on my list, which is Appetite for Innocence. Imagine this, a teenage girl kidnapped and locked in a room, only to find two other girls with her. I don't want to say too much about this book, but let's just say that the kidnapper has a very specific type of girls he's after, and the reasons behind it are just as cruel as they get. It's like Verity's disturbing, creepy vibe got an upgrade. So, if you liked Verity and you liked how the thrill kept you on edge and you were questioning every character's motives, this book will keep you on your edge and it will dig under your skin. I think it goes without saying that most of the books on this list come with a trigger warning. So, for this one, we have a multitude of them. First of all, psychological abuse. Obviously, there's kidnapping. Then there's also sexual assault. So, make sure that you are ready for all that before you dive in. And now, if you're ready for more, we'll go to a similarly intense novel but on a different level. 11 minutes. This one starts off with a bang. Once upon a time, there was a prostitute. Yup, you heard that right. The same line you would expect in a children's book, but here it's used to tell the tale of a prostitute. We follow her journey. How and why did she end up in this profession? What were her struggles? And finally, we see her finding love and intimacy. If you're not into philosophy, you might want to skip this one. But I have read a lot of books from Polo Colo. We are going to ignore my pronunciation, and all of them are philosophical. But this one still stood out to me because of the daring plot and the unique storyline. So you might want to give this one a try. This one has very mild trigger warnings. First of all, there is obviously sexual content, and there are a lot of philosophical themes. At some points, I think it also talks about mental issues. So there's that. But now, we should dive into a more darker territory, shall we? Next up, we have Tender is the Flesh. This book isn't really dark, it's pitch black. It takes you to a dystopian world where humans are farmed for meat. Yup, it's totally as gruesome as it sounds. Some people have told me that they couldn't finish this book, and I get it. It's disturbing, it's triggering, and it will make you question the ethics of survival. But trust me, if you are brave enough to start it, you have to see it through the end, because that is where the true horror and the brilliance lies. If you want to start it, it's a pretty small book. You will finish it very quickly, but you will truly grasp its meaning if only you see it through the finish line. This one has some extreme trigger warnings. There's cannibalism, there's extreme violence, and then there's reader's psychological trauma. This one personally experienced. Now I want to take it down a notch, and I want to take you to a territory that will make you mess with your mind instead of making you completely lose it. We are going to have Goodnight Beautiful. Alright, if you love Silent Patient, this one is going to hit that exact spot. Goodnight Beautiful is the kind of thriller where you think you know what's happening, but trust me, you don't. Not until the author decides that it's time for you to see the truth. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, trap. The rug is pulled under from you, and you will see the truth when the author wants you to. That twist is so masterfully hidden that you won't see it coming. So, this one is not really super dark, but it's a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Give it a go. This one is not really dark, like I said, so there aren't a lot of trigger warnings. Obviously, there is psychological manipulation, so much so that midway you will think that you have read the entire book wrong and you will want to start over. But then, apart from that, there is just infidelity. Now, let's go to the last book, which is not the least by any extent. It's a book that is emotionally complex, but it's also very, very unsettling. The book is Still Beating. Still Beating is a different kind of twisted darkness. I don't want to say too much about this one because I think you should go into this blind, but it's another kidnapper story, and this one kidnaps a girl and a boy. No, Joey, don't think you've got it all figured out. Because even if you take the wildest guess, I swear you won't even come close to the motives of this kidnapper. And this has psychological layers that are intense, dark, and it doesn't take a lot of building up. So it will keep you hooked from the start to the finish. I think this should be on your TBR, but there are some trigger warnings. There's trauma bonding, there's violence, there's kidnapping obviously, and there's also a lot of sexual assault and sometimes even self-harm. So be prepared. Just be prepared. This and Tender is the Flesh are the most darkest books in this list. So if you are going to read them, you have to be prepared to meet something very dark there. So there you have it. 5 books that will take you to the wildest ride. From eerily unsettling to deeply philosophical to mind-bending twists. Which one of these are going on your TBR? Or have you read any of these? Do let me know. Until then, keep turning these dark pages and I'll see you next time.